I was informed that the protesters have been denied bail. And for the first time in many years, protesters have been remanded for 2 weeks. I don't remember the last time people went on street protests. They got arrested and remanded for 2 weeks. In fact, I went online just to see if I'll get stories pop up about situations where protesters, and you see, usually on matters like this, it's the police prosecutors who go to courts if there's any problem or other, or maybe you went on protest without notice to the police, so the police will go to court to prosecute. Uniquely, Randy, the Attorney General is the one prosecuting these people. The Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana decided to take the matter from the police to prosecute. That's lawful. I'm not saying the unlawfulness of it. What I am saying is that there's a reason why the Attorney General had given the police the opportunity to prosecute. Usually, when the matter involves high crime, a very serious offense, then the Attorney General can. Randy, look at the charges that the Attorney General had decided to, as it were, against the accused persons. Count 1. Conspiracy to commit crime, namely unlawful assembly. Contrary to sections 23 and 202 of the Criminal Offences Act. Unlawful assembly. Our Attorney General is in court prosecuting people for unlawful assembly. And the most bizarre aspect of it is that upon all of this characterization, and in fact today, Daily Guide repeated, and I want to say that the Attorney General decided to do this prosecution because, to his mind, these are NDC protesters. And look, today, the Daily Guide again repeats it. 39 NDC protesters caged. Consistent characterization to have a particular effect on the person adjudicating the matter. Right. I'll just take you through this other count 6. Defacement of public notice, contrary to section 38 of PNDC law 284. And now it says, quote, it names the individuals and say, you intentionally destroy election posters, banners, and billboards of political parties. Which political parties? Because the NDC had not put up any criminal complaint. You know what? Criminal complaints that our billboard or posters have been destroyed. Maybe the MPP has. We never did. So when the Attorney General puts in the particulars that political parties, he didn't say political party. Billboards have been, hold on please, I beg you. Billboards have been destroyed. And for that matter, he's in court prosecuting these individuals. It tells you the level of dishonesty, the mischief that this Attorney General is associated with. And you see, the pain I have is that, look, what exactly is the basis of this protest? The videos I have watched, the protesters denounce both NDC and MPP, and that they feel strongly that the political establishment could do more about the Galamsey issue. And so they've never left any political party out of the conversation. But conveniently, they were described as NDC protesters. Aye. So, by a newspaper associated with the New Patriotic Party, the Daily Guide. And that's and the reason, please. And the reason is simple. To actually, what shall I say? To one way or the other, incite the courts against them. Look, I take this thing very strongly. I hardly do this. Because, look, I've gone through all the precedents just to see an instance where protesters were remanded for 2 weeks on the basis that they protested. And I've struggled. And if you look at the proceeding, because yesterday I called the Lawyers Associated, I wanted to understand what transpired in court. What was the Attorney General's posture? What reason did the judge give for remanding them for 2 weeks? Nothing whatsoever. So it's effectively like, we'll show you where power lies. Look, Randy, if you look at this Galamsey issue, on the campaign, I've had to move from here by road to Sefirioso, to Bodi, to Dwabeso. Look, before you get into Wasakropon, Randy, both sides of the road, you will see openly the water bodies, people in the water bodies working. We have over 40,000 police officers in this country. Over 13,000 soldiers in this country. None of them has the capacity to fight it. IGP Dampare is interested in arresting protesters instead of Galamseyers. People who have their champagne directly on water bodies, not lawful mining. People with champagne machines on our water bodies, IGP can see them with his 40,000 policemen. They are not interested in effecting their arrest. What they are interested in is arresting innocent protesters. IGP Dampare, look, you have obtained a very dubious distinction for the things that you are doing. In fact, when you got appointed, and I saw you were a PhD holder and others, I was pleased within me that a certain finesse, I will see a different policing. What you have turned your office into, more like a Gestapo. The Nazi police squad that they used to arrest Jews. That's what you have turned the service with integrity into. Mr. IGP, this morning, I am speaking more directly to you. Forever, you will be remembered as the IGP who arrested protesters against Galamsey. Galamsey that your office had the authority and mandate to stop 40,000 officers. If you go to Chifopraso, if you're on the bridge, you will see people openly doing Galamsey in the River Pra. IGP Dampare, you have a special office called the Police Intelligence Directorate. So that intelligence directorate that you have established, they don't have intelligence on the people doing Galamsey on our water bodies. But you are interested in arresting lawful protesters. Mr. IGP, don't reduce the Ghana police into a Akufo-Addo police. Don't reduce the Ghana police into a regime police. Because you see, the whole international community are watching us. Look, and some of the videos, openly, are we saying that the IGP is incapacitated? He cannot see these people? And when Ghanaian citizens take it upon themselves to draw the attention of duty bearers to the devastating impact, you arrest them and remand them for 2 weeks. Rather curiously, the NPP parliamentary candidate for Wasa East, Ernest Frimpong, who openly, together with the Western Regional Minister, were seen either conspiring or meeting to take a decision to attack soldiers who come or stop Galamsey activities. Did any judge remand him for 2 weeks? Randy, did any judge in Ghana here remand the parliamentary candidate who was seen in a viral video.
But he's not gone to court. He
No,
was
so
invited by the police. He went there, they took his statement. End of story. Yeah, end of story.
Because as for him, Daily Guide will not publish him as MPP Galamsey or supporting Galamsey. Look, I have this, and for our judges, with the greatest respect, you are the bastion of this democracy. So whatever you do, either give validation to executive action or provides a check. This decision by this judge to remand this protester 2 weeks is a retrogression of the gains that we have made. Sometimes I ask myself, if today we have a court to decide MPP versus IGP, I've always been wondering if the outcome will be the same. When in the 90s, the MPP had written that they wanted to go and celebrate the birthday of J.B. Dankwa, and the IGP said no, they needed permission. The MPP went to the Supreme Court. That Supreme Court, in fact, that that set of Supreme Court judges, who in a very courageous, bold manner said, listen, one of the things that sustains a democracy is the ability of people to freely demonstrate, the ability for people to even vent out whatever frustration they have. That progressive decision of the Supreme Court, consistently, all we have done is to water down the impact. And yesterday's decision to remand the protesters was like to basically undermine that Supreme Court decision. There was no justifiable basis for remanding those protesters for 2 weeks. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And sometimes I played with our judges. Can you imagine one day reading your CV as a judge and it being recorded, Madam Judge who remanded protesters for 2 weeks for fighting against Galamsey? Would you want to have that CV? It is not good enough. It is not fair. The problem of Galamsey, the menace of Galamsey. Look, Randy, today women go to give birth and their children are without limbs, without genitalias. And young men have taken it upon themselves that it is their future. Akufo-Addo is 80 years. What does he have to lose if our water bodies are destroyed? Please. What does he have to lose? At 80, he drinks treated water, bottled water. He doesn't care. That person in danger, Chifopraso, Bimpoeja, who is drinking from polluted, heavily metal-laden water. Can you just put yourself in their shoes for a minute? And young people of this country have taken it upon themselves that will not sit down for our future to be destroyed. We are calling duty bearers to bring themselves back to the conversation. Then you say they should go and sleep in Nsawam for 2 weeks just to show them where power lies. If this attorney general has any, decency left to him, you should go and withdraw the charges. Because this is bad enough. It doesn't send a good message. Look, there was a UK attorney general, so you come. A UK attorney general.
Oh.
Those days, please.
What do you mean I've come? Are you the moderator?
Oh, no. I mean, when
I'm the moderator,
who else will come?
You've actually...
Randy. There was this UK attorney general. And for a long time, the activities of this Irish guy, the Ireland, their fights. So they arrested these Irish protesters, among others. The attorney general, when he got the opportunity, you know how he said it? He said, look, yes, what these guys have done doesn't really make sense. But I will not be the Attorney General to prosecute them, to make them a martyr for the Irish. I won't do it. That is what an Attorney General with sobriety does. What is all this full soldierism? Always it's about, NDC protesters, so let's put them in jail for 2 weeks. An Attorney General who even talks to accused persons, nobody has taken you on, and you are doing this. Sometimes you look at what the mercies, the benevolence that you have enjoyed, to look at how you place other people in situations. These are the martyrs against the fight against Galamsey. And their voice. Look, I always say this, but I'll conclude on this. You see, when you cut the tongue of a man, the only message you are sending across is that you are afraid of what you say. You can't silence these protesters, whether through the court process or whatever. They will come back stronger to fight against this menace of Galamsey. Shameful.